Anime, Reign of the Seven Spellblades. Continuing to episode 3, Oliver, Pete, and Michaela are currently surrounded from two sides by Ophelia and Cyrus. The most panicked among the three is Pete. He even wants to draw his sword. However, Oliver immediately prevents him from doing so. If he were to draw his sword, Ophelia and Cyrus would have a reason to attack. Fortunately, Ophelia and Cyrus are provoking each other, so the three of them are not involved. According to Ophelia, it seems Cyrus enjoys collecting corpses for his bone magic. As for Ophelia, she likes to collect men to sow seeds in her. In fact, Cyrus goes as far as to refer to Ophelia as succubus salvadori. Ophelia feels deeply offended when that term is used. Cyrus initiates the attack by reciting Congregana. His bone magic forms into a four-legged creature. Then, Ophelia recites Baltus. From her abdomen, a creature of equal size to Cyrus's bone creature emerges. Pete is unfamiliar with summoning magic like that. However, according to Oliver, it's not summoning magic, but Ophelia is indeed giving birth to that creature. While the two creatures are fighting, Oliver, Pete, and Michaela use the opportunity to escape. Unfortunately, Cyrus still has bones to hinder the three of them. However, unexpectedly, Nanao comes from behind them. Nanao senses nostalgia upon seeing this place filled with death. Nanao is able to easily destroy the bones blocking the three of them. She says she'll handle Ophelia and Cyrus, urging the three of them to just escape. Nanao reveals that her body only seeks a place to die. Oliver doesn't quite understand why Nanao says that, but he certainly disagrees. Oliver also draws his sword to chase after Nanao. Suddenly, nearby, someone recites Ignis. The incantation releases fire that incinerates Ophelia and Cyrus's creatures in an instant. The man who cast the spell reminds them not to disturb the new students. He promises that no seniors will bother them again. He swears in the name of OSIS chairman Kimberly, Alvin Godfrey. People commonly call him the Holy Flame. Not alone, Alvin is accompanied by a girl, Carlos Whitrow, a fifth-year student who serves as a prefect. With that, Ophelia and Cyrus are forced to retreat, willingly or not. Carlos states that they can now rest assured. There's no safer place in Kimberly than being near Alvin. Luckily, the three of them didn't become victims of Ophelia and Cyrus's magic. After being escorted outside by Alvin and Carlos, the three of them had now reunited with their other friends. Oliver could no longer contain his anger towards Nanao. He daringly risked his life by pursuing the three of them alone. Not only that, Nanao even mentioned that she was searching for a place to die. Michaela tried to calm Oliver down. She understood Oliver's feelings, but she suggested that they listen to Nanao's explanation first. Nanao then began to recount her life. She didn't deny that Oliver's words were true. Nanao had lost her will to live since a long time ago. She wasn't even sure if she was truly alive at the moment. In the past, during the fierce battle with Soma Yoshihisa's forces, Nanao had also participated in the war. The enemy forces numbered 50,000, while Nanao's forces only consisted of 200 people. Most of the time, Nanao only remembered killing the enemies one by one. Unbeknownst to her, she had become trapped in the midst of the enemy's siege. Nanao immediately leapt behind the enemy lines on her horse. She intended to decapitate General Soma Yoshihisa. A soldier tried to stop her. The soldier seemed to struggle to withstand the power of Nanao's sword, and eventually, Nanao managed to strike him down. General Soma ordered his guards to surround Nanao with their spears. When General Soma approached her to negotiate, Nanao requested a duel with his son, known as the strongest fighter in their family. However, Nanao's words only further enraged General Soma. Understandably so, the soldier Nanao had just struck down turned out to be his son. Nanao had cut down someone without knowing their identity. General Soma threatened to end Nanao's life without bothering to ask her name. It was his form of revenge. Just as the spears of the soldiers were about to reach her, a magical barrier appeared to halt the spears. From above the sky, a witch was seen flying on a broomstick. The witch was baffled by the customs of this land. She couldn't grasp why not asking for a name was considered a form of revenge. Nonetheless, she had come here because she was intrigued by the talented child. As a teacher, she couldn't allow the child to die just like that. The witch offered Nanao to come to her land and become a witch. As Nanao had once recounted, the witch was a McFarlane, who turned out to be Michaela's father. Since that incident, Nanao felt like she was living in an incredibly long dream. Nanao feared that she might not realize her desires before awakening from that dream. In her swordsmanship academy, she was taught to kill those she respected. Nanao herself understood that this sounded absurd. Nonetheless, she felt it when clashing swords with Oliver. Nanao knew that Oliver would likely reject her. After all, Oliver wasn't obligated to engage in mutual combat with her. However, Oliver's outright rejection still left her feeling sad and tormented. Gradually, this sadness led her to yearn for a place to die. Katie concluded that Nanao was heartbroken due to Oliver's rejection. Oliver asked Katie not to joke, but Nanao regarded the statement as accurate. Whether it was falling in love with him or his swordsmanship prowess, it all felt the same. Oliver was puzzled about how to respond. Michaela inquired whether a normal duel wouldn't suffice. Nanao explained that the sword techniques she learned were techniques for killing. Therefore, if they weren't intending to kill each other, she couldn't fight seriously. As a friend, Michaela wanted to say something. She reassured Nanao that it was time to change her way of life. She convinced Nanao that she was indeed alive, not in a dream or illusion. If there was no distinction between falling in love with him or his swordsmanship, then what Nanao should focus on was him. Furthermore, all their friends here still wanted to spend time with her. Afterward, Oliver asked Nanao to make a promise to him. From now on, no matter what happened, Nanao mustn't rush to die. Regardless of the circumstances, she should use the sword for self-preservation. Following all this, Nanao finally apologized for being cowardly and foolish. She pledged not to squander her life anymore. Additionally, she asked to be taught how to live in this place. Honestly, Nanao felt she couldn't keep up with the lessons at this academy. However, that was only natural. Even Pete was just learning to use magic. The next day, as they headed to school together, Nanao seemed to be sticking closer to Oliver. She walked alongside Oliver closely, trying to observe him. Oliver was clearly embarrassed being scrutinized by a girl up close. Nevertheless, he seemed to prefer the current situation. Nanao needed to realize that his life wasn't solely about swords. During the magic sword class, Master Garland provided an opportunity for the students to ask questions. One student was curious if Master Garland could use the spellblade technique. Beforehand, Master Garland wanted to explain its concept. In the realm of magical swordsmanship, there existed a technique known as spellblade. Its definition was quite simple. This technique was executed with a single step, a single incantation. It was an unstoppable move that would inevitably defeat its opponent. There were known to be a total of 6 spellblade techniques. Although there were individuals who attempted to create new spellblades or destroy existing ones, these 6 spellblades had remained unchanged since ancient times. This technique was highly secretive. The user and the type of spellblade were never disclosed to the public. Some even doubted the existence of spellblade. Hence, Master Garland couldn't reveal whether he could wield the spellblade or not. Nanao was truly intrigued by the existence of such a technique. As usual, Andrews approached Oliver and Nanao to provoke them. Oliver had no intention of fighting, but for some reason, his words always managed to anger Andrews. He wanted to spar with Oliver. Oliver reluctantly agreed. Before their bout, Nanao realized that Oliver appeared disheartened. She suggested that he might be deliberately intending to lose. Nanao didn't want to see him lose, even if it was just an act. She asked Oliver to do it seriously. Andrews, of course, couldn't accept if Oliver practiced without seriousness. He felt greatly underestimated. Unfortunately, their feud was interrupted by Master Garland. After the lesson, Michaela recounted that Andrews was her childhood friend. During their childhood, Andrews and Michaela were often compared to each other by their families. Perhaps Andrews always felt that his current position could easily be taken by someone else. Michaela felt responsible for her attitude of always wanting to prove her strength. Suddenly, Pete arrived to inform them that Katie had rushed out upon hearing about a rampaging troll just before the execution parade. Currently, Katie was in front of the troll's cage, trying to prevent a teacher from executing it. The teacher recognized her as part of the Alto family upon hearing her name. According to the teacher, Katie's parents were among the most foolish within the human rights faction. The teacher inquired if Katie would take responsibility if the troll ended up killing someone. Katie stated that she would try to persuade the troll not to attack humans. The teacher found it absurd to think of reasoning with a troll. Katie was clearly upset and snapped back at the teacher. The teacher then used the Dollar incantation, shocking Katie's body. At that moment, Oliver and the others finally arrived. Oliver recognized the teacher in front of them as Darius Grenville. As Darius tried to punish the others as well, Vera Milligan, a fourth-year student, intervened to stop him. She informed them that there had indeed been a lot of resistance against the troll's execution. Master Garland also arrived and reminded Darius that the use of torture incantations as punishment had been banned for 5 years. Master Garland then explained in more detail that the investigation into the troll's potential reasons for its anger was still insufficient. The troll needed to be kept alive as both evidence and a witness. The academy head had also approved this decision. Vera informed Katie that she too was worried about the execution. She revealed that she was a half-human enthusiast as well. During the journey back to the dormitory, Katie appeared to be continuously smiling. She expressed her happiness at meeting Vera. Suddenly, a spirit servant dropped a letter before them. The letter was from Andrews. He stated that he wanted to duel against Oliver and Nanau. This is the end of episode 3. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss part 4 of this series recap.